Hi guys, Squirrel here, and you're probably wondering why you're looking at a very cheap white Scania R360. Well, let me explain. Okay, so the end of the last video, I drove a wonderful Kenworth W900L, and that was very, very cool, very interesting, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed the video. I had lots of good feedback about that. Unfortunately, when I buy that kind of truck, it costs the best part of 100 grand out of my trucking account, and Trucking Nuts is not that rich. So what I've had to do, I've had to load in the save game just before I bought that truck, so that I've now got £250,000 in the bank and I can go and buy a different truck. So basically that's what I'm going to do. Now then, what truck am I going to drive today? That's the question. Well, if we visit the Majestic dealer, otherwise known as Mercedes-Benz, because they don't have a license yet, well rather SCS doesn't have a license to use Mercedes-Benz name, so they've had to go for Majestic. I don't know why. I can't imagine why everybody else has signed up and Mercedes-Benz hasn't. Who knows? But anyway, if we pop down to their dealer, we should see a Rogue truck in the mix, and that's the one we're going to go for. Let's skip left a little bit. These are essentially Mercedes-Benz model trucks. But look at the badge. It's not the usual three-pointed logo. And there it is. There it is, the Kenworth K100. Actually, I think this is a really, really nice looking truck. It's got a lot of character. It's tidy, with a lot of chrome and black, but it's got a lot of character. Let's go through some of the customization. We'll have a look at the inside in a second. But, can you see that? It's got a really nice shine to it. Love the chrome wheels. Absolutely adore these. Look at the exhaust manifolds, are wonderful. Really nice truck. Completely flat at the front, totally unlike the Kenworth that we drove, or rather I drove, in my last video with a huge front end and you couldn't see where the hell the front was and ended up hitting a van if you remember. But no, I like this. This has been well modelled. No upgrades to the cabin, no upgrades to the chassis, however there is, look at this, 750 brake horsepower engine, 3,500 Newton meters of torque. I mean, come on. I'd be able to pull a house along the ground with that. Fantastic engine. Transmission, same story, get myself an Opticruise 905R 14-speed gearbox. Sounds good to me, people. And the inside, what does the inside look like? Well, again, I've never seen the inside of one of these trucks. I don't know how authentic this colouring is. This looks like a real tan leather steering wheel. But this is a little bit too bright for my taste, I have to admit. But whether it actually is like that in real life, I don't know. Whether it's just been pimped up a little bit. If you guys drive Kenworth, or you've driven a Kenworth, or your dad's owned a Kenworth, you'll probably be able to tell me. Look at this, it's proper pimping. Radios, fan, obviously doesn't have air conditioning if you've got a fan in here. So many switches, what on earth are all these for? Can't quite see in the back yet. This is an enormous section of quilted covering. I would have thought this area here could be better used myself. You know, you could have recessed places in here, lots of spaces for drinks and other bits and pieces. As it stands, it kind of feels like a waste of space to me. But anyway, there's nothing we can upgrade. On the outside, we're limited to some colours here. Most of them are a little bit drab. And I have to say, just going through these colours, the only two that appeal to me are the red. And the red does look good, I have to admit. Red and black is never a mistake, is it? It's the Dracula formula. Even Dracula knew that red and black was a good idea. That, no way. Or you've got the black with the red interior. And I'll be honest with you, this is the look that I want. Now you may think differently. You may prefer the red or one of these other colours, but I think that's the colour for me. In terms of accessories, there aren't any other mirrors. Now we can go for other wheels here. But again, I'll be honest with you, I really like the the choice of wheels by stock default, these standard wheels, I think look wonderful. And I'm going to keep them because they look amazing. Quite happy to do that. There doesn't appear to be anything I can upgrade on the inside either. There are no accessory points, there's only these mirrors, and the mirrors can't be changed, so I think all in all we're going to go with a 750 engine, 14 speed gearbox, and we are going to trade in. Trading value of my crappy little truck is only 50k, so I'm going to have to pay 92. So I'm going to need a pretty decent job to get some money back, but let's go for that. Congratulations on purchasing your Kenworth K100 from the Majestic store. We're not entirely sure how that happened. If you want to play this truck, by the way, at the end of this video, check the video description, there's a link to the mod in there. But, as I discovered, look at that logo. Look at Kenworth down the side there, it looks fantastic. Let's have a look at the outside properly now. Yeah, I really like this. Properly nice. Now, in terms of the engine noise, I'm not a driver of Majestic trucks, so I don't know if that's a stock engine sound, or whether this guy's actually put his own sound in. If I had to guess, I would suggest that that was the Majestic engine and not a custom engine noise. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong about that. Okay, let's have a look at where we are. We've got 10 hours rest. Okay, that's fine. We're now fully fueled up. Let's have a look at the jobs we've got going out of here. I have got some trailer mods installed, so we should see some weird and wonderful wacky things appearing. We have got oversized we could take. We've also got this one. We've done that one before. So let's just see have a flick through and see what kind of jobs we've got on the go at the moment. You get a feel for the kind of jobs that I've got. Sorry, trailer mods that I've got, I should say. There is one which I'm hoping will pop up. I've not seen it so far. Basically, it's a cement mixer. And I think the cement mixer spins on the back. I'd love to do that for you guys. What's this one? That's different. You can see I've got the sports car still in there. No, it's not putting in an appearance. This game can be a little bit random like that. Well, obviously it randomly generates the jobs, but you get, you put a mod in, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to pick it up for a while. That's slightly annoying. Wow, that is the world's shortest job. Look at that. Unbelievable. Actually, have I been to Stuttgart? I kind of get the feeling I've not been to Stuttgart. I'm severely tempted to pick that job up. Expires in 31 minutes. You know what? Let's go and make it a quick 9 grand. That'll be the opportunity to test this truck out. Get used to it. And 10 grand, and maybe we'll get a decent job. What's the braking like? I thought the game had crashed then. It froze and I thought we were going down. Thankfully it didn't. I've not actually looked in the back properly yet. Oh, the indicator sounds have been changed. Unless that's the, again, that's the Majestic. I don't drive Majestic trucks, so I have... Whoa, I think I've just missed my spot. I'm supposed to be in there. Don't mind me. Warning, do not attempt this. Uh-oh, I've got the reverse bug. No! Why have I got the reverse bug? Oh, this is going to cause a problem, isn't it? So what I'm going to have to do, reverse up against this wall. This is where the reverse sticks. Right, now we should be able to go forward. There you go. That's going to cause problems. Now I have got realistic physics turned off, and normally that only happens when you have it turned on. I wonder what that's conflicting with. Where's the trailer? Whoa, the trailer's all the way down there. I was slightly confused, I was looking here, like... Where's the trailer? I've managed to fix my track IR problem, by the way. I've basically seated my track IR a lot more to the left of my monitor so that it looks to my left side properly. But yeah, you do have to get the positioning right. Let's take a slightly wider swing here. Yeah, I don't know what... That reversing problem I've had before when I've had realistic physics on the run, but... Never had it... As you can see, I can't actually stop reversing now, so... I'm going to have to press the T key and hope that fixes it. Nope, I can't stop reversing. So my truck's just reversing into the trailer and it will not stop. There we go. Good grief. Because the truck's still moving, it won't let me... There we go. Dear me. You've probably come across this bug before. But like I say, it was realistic physics not loading last. I haven't got it loaded this time, so this must be a bug, or rather a conflict with something else. Anyway, let's have a look at the... Stop the engine here. There we go. Okay, so this is the trailer we're taking. Again, massive industrial part. Quite suits the truck, actually. You would expect a 700 brake truck like this to be pulling something massive like this one. I think I'm going to have to whack the beacon on. Although we only have one beacon. We don't appear to have one in the rear, I don't think. Oh yes, we do. We do have one. Look at that. Cool. We haven't got very long to deliver this, so we better get on with it. Whatever I do, I'm going to have to be very, very careful not to reverse the have to reverse. I need to find out what's conflicting with the mod, but that would mean essentially going through a lot of mods and disabling them to test it out. It could be one of the other trailers. It's unlikely though, and I don't have any other physics stuff loaded, so I am slightly surprised by this, I'll be honest with you. But the problem is, as soon as I start reversing, I have to find a solid object to stop up against, otherwise the truck won't physically stop. I didn't have any physics problems last time with the other Kenworth, so I am surprised I've got physics problems this time, to be honest with you. But still, never mind. Do bear that in mind if you want to try this truck. You may have that reversing bug. This thing doesn't have any problems whatsoever pulling this weight. It's incredible. I've just noticed the on the dashboard there next to the GPS, I've just noticed that little, looks like a, why is that actually? It says 3 miles 23 degrees and it's basically got a built-in compass of sorts. Quite like the indicator noises. What's the horn like? Oh wow. That's awful. That's really bad. That's pretty much worse than any of the Scania ones. Let's try it from the outside. Seriously, I've heard car horns louder than that. Look at the time of delivery, estimated 1747. 75-mile journey. It's actually a little bit bigger than it looked. On the map it just looked like we were going 1/4 of an inch, but it's not too bad. That's something near enough London to Birmingham in the UK, approximately. If you're in the north of London, that is. But on Germany, of course, it just looked like a little trip across, almost across the garden. Quite empty roads. Now I have seen a mod that modifies the what was it called? It's called something like the improved traffic mod, I think it was called. And what it purports to do is put a lot more cars onto the road, which I'm not sure if I want that or not, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't mind having more traffic on the road if the traffic behaved a lot more sensibly. Now, I don't think it modifies the logic of the AI so much, but it does allow them to go faster. And it does... wow, they're moving, aren't they? It does exchange a lot of... It makes sure that the trucks and trailers that you see use a lot of the trucks and trailers that are available in the game properly. So obviously they've... I'm not entirely sure how it's working. Maybe it's looking at the entire collection of trucks, and rather than removing some because perhaps you're not high enough level, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I do like about this. I like the mirror in this truck. That is a good mirror. Remember in the Kenworth, the W900 Kenworth, I was saying that it was very difficult to see anything in the mirrors. I couldn't see, because it was such a kind of a fisheye wide-angle lens, I couldn't see, well, very much, to be honest. The mirrors on this truck seem to be an awful lot better, and they give you a really good view of the road, particularly the orientation of them. They're not round, they're rectangular in portrait mode. Now a few people commented saying you can adjust the mirror settings. You can adjust the mirror in the settings page, and I had a look, and it's true, you can adjust the mirror in the settings page. However, it doesn't let you control the field of view, so it doesn't let you narrow down the mirror and make it from a wide angle to quite a narrow field. The only thing it gives you effectively is the distance that it draws at. So I had to play around with it. If you want to find it, you need to go to video settings and then into advanced. You need to click on the advanced tab to see it. You'll get a whole bunch of stuff there, and one of them is the mirror distance. Let's be careful here in case there's any traffic coming. This thing is going to clip under this bridge. Watch this. Look at that. Straight through. He wasn't going to bother waiting, was he? So yeah, you can adjust it. Now, I sat in the outside of a garage and adjusted the settings just to see what it would do. And when I put it on low, I could see some flags in the distance, but when I put it on high, I could see the flags, and then I could see a lot of stuff behind it. Look at those wipers. So all those mirror settings do is control how far it renders objects, if you like, when you look in the mirror. It's a view distance thing rather than a field of view, if you understand what I mean by that. This is where I've totally forgotten my light settings again. I believe it's... There we go. Sorry, I totally forgot which way I've mapped my hat. I did tell you in the last video I'd have a problem remembering that, because I have remapped some of my buttons from my last video and still learning, I'm afraid. But basically I've got left and right on the thumb button are lights now, so yeah, that's right. It was all logical when I set it up, I just had to remember the logic I applied, if that makes any sense. The weather's gone to shit, I'm afraid. So I think what we're going to do, I don't actually need to rest when I get into this town, but I think that's what we're going to do. So far this truck is driving quite nicely. It pulls extremely well, even from a standing start. Its handling is pretty decent. The view is actually really good. It's a well-designed truck. It's kind of got this vintage look, kind of retro vintage look, slightly pimped. It's got this kind of vintage, retro, slightly pimped look, but it's been thought out. You know, it's not just been thrown together. You get a lot of glass to look out of. Visibility, of course, is very, very important, and this truck has visibility in spades, and that vertical front end means, you know that the front of the truck is at the end of your windshield, which is good. So yeah, I'd be quite happy to drive one of these things, and I do like the mirrors as well. Well, it looks like we're nearly here. Like I say, the weather's gone to shit. There isn't a town here. This is outside of the town. So there does appear to be a rest stop here, though. And given that it's coming into night time, what I might do, deliver this and then rest, and it should put us early hours in the morning. And that's good, because that means we get a full day of daylight trucking. We've got a quarry delivery for some industrial parts. I can't imagine where they're going to put this thing. Just checking we're not clipping the walls though. Where's the delivery spot? Down this hill. I so would love to see people on this game. You hardly see any pedestrians at all. I kind of understand why they didn't put them in, because I'm pretty certain a lot of people would spend most of the time playing Truckmageddon, where they just get the truck and go around flattening pedestrians and anybody they can see. Well, that shouldn't stop you from putting it in the game, because people like to do those kinds of psychotic things. I just thought we're going to have a problem reversing this. A big problem reversing this. Because I have nothing to stop reversing with. Now, is it possible to go forward into this at all? I'm going to try. I'm going to try going round the back of this thing. Might turn around up there if I can. If I can't, then I might just give up and press enter, because, reversing this is going to be a mitigated disaster without being able to stop reversing. Let's have a look where we are. Yeah, I can't realistically turn that. Let's just deliver it. Skip all the faff. Alright. Easiest 9.5 grand ever. Now, where's the rest spot? That's the question. It appears it's up here, but I've got a feeling we can't get to it, but I'm going to go this way anyway, just to find out. Seems to be down this road here. Or maybe we can get to it. Wow, this is a steep slope. Okay, there's a parking bay right here. Cool. Alright. We're going to sleep in the back of the truck, which looks quite nice. I can't see any more than that. In the piss pouring rain, in a quarry. Fair enough. Okay. It's now morning. Well, early morning. 2:51 AM in the middle of a quarry. Let's have a look at where we're going to go next. We need to pick up a nice job. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit more generous this time. Now we could go to any of these places to pick up a job. Let's see what's here. That's utterly dull. What's that town there? There it is! The cement mixer! Oh, can I get there in time? It expires in an hour. Oh no, I don't think I can get there in an hour. I've got to go like a bat out of hell now. I doubt I can make it. Oh, that's such a shame. This is so dark. Which way out? This way. It's not exactly clearly signposted. In the middle of the dark, I can't see where the hell the exit is. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I really don't think I can make it in an hour. $2.53, we'll see. I'm going to give it my best shot. Certainly got the engine for it. It just depends how far away the job is now. What time did I start? About 2:50 maybe? I'm going to have to drive like a crazy man. Crazy trucker going for the cement mixer. I need some luck with the traffic. That could have gone horribly wrong, but it worked out okay. Same with this. I told you I was going to drive like a madman. Don't ever drive a truck like this. Oh, outside of a bend. Come on. So if I'm not talking very much, it's because I'm concentrating heavily on not crashing this truck. Oh, this is... I'm being very lucky here because this is suicidal. This really is suicidal. How far away is this? I don't even know if I can make it. It's not just down the road, it's... Oh no, I got stuck behind a coach. Don't turn, go straight on, mate. Good, yes, good idea, good idea. How far away? Oh, I'm not going to make it. I've given it a best shot, but this is just too far. I could get lucky, I mean, you never know. We could end up making it on time, or another cement mixer job just happens to appear. I'm looking in the mirrors and I don't see anything right now. It's so black in those mirrors. Yeah, we'll just have to take that speeding offence on the chin, because I am in fact speeding heavily. We've cut through just, what, about half an hour? I wish I knew if it was halfway or not. 78 miles per hour, doing almost 80 miles per hour now, so this is a... Remember, I haven't got a speed limiter in, or a speed unlimiter. So I'm guessing he's implemented the real speed limit of the truck. Which is knocking on the door of 80. The last one, the Kenworth W900 did the same thing. Oh, this is just so far. If we were getting off about now, then I'd say we might make it, but... Look at the mirrors, look, just nothing. Can't see anything. $3.49, yeah. It's expired, I'm pretty certain now it's expired. Oh well. It was a good try. We'll see what's available. Let's bring up the map in a second, have a look what we've got. Look at this, white van men. That's hard to say. Looks like we're double back in. Let's get in this lane here. Here, I think. Yep. Essentially, I'm looking in the mirrors, and if I see blackness, I'm assuming that it's safe, because I'm working on the assumption that if there was a vehicle there, I'd be able to see the headlights. But mostly, it's just blackness. Going straight on. At last, the sun is starting to rise. 4:10 AM now. I didn't have a hope in hell's chance of getting this thing. I just realised the GPS is actually telling me what time I'm going to get there. Derp. It's saying I'll be there at 4:30. So yeah, I already knew. I could have already said it. I was never going to make this job. I didn't think to look, to be honest. Can you notice down the left here, the barriers? Can you see those yellow strip lights? Surely you can see that, because in my last video I had the dashes the kind of yellow dashes installed, or yellow dots. This time I've gone for the solid yellow line. That's a crash barrier mod, and some people said they couldn't see the dots. So I thought, I know what I'll do, I'll put the solid colours on and see if you can see that. Stuttgart. Now hopefully there is a job in Stuttgart that I can take that's fun and interesting. The last set weren't very interesting at all. Hey, look at the mirrors, look at the crash barriers in the mirrors. You see that? That's quite cool. So now I've got a speeding ticket and no job to show for it, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, before we go any further, I am going to check the jobs. No, we're not lucky. That's a shame. Oh, I almost got it. I almost got the cement mixer. It wasn't to be. Well, none of these are particularly appealing at all, are they? You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into a rest stop and take a chance. I'm going to go and rest and see if I can get an interesting load to take somewhere. Some interesting cargo. I think we can rest in here. Which dealership's this? Is that a Volvo? Yeah, it's a Volvo. Don't mind us parking our truck on your on your front. Right. It's the afternoon now, unfortunately, but hopefully we've got some more jobs. I've got to change. Definitely got to change. Plastic granules. That's a short run to a place I've never been. Strasbourg. I've not been there. That's a new place. I think we'll take... Oh, hang on. What's this? That looks a lot more fun. Let's take that. That looks hilarious. And you know what? I've just realised I'm going to have to reverse. Oh well. We're going to have to reverse it into the building. Having parked on the Volvo dealership front, I'm now reversed into the dealership. They can send me the bill. Right, this looks like a fun delivery actually. It is a massive, one of those kind of, it's either a digger or a bulldozer, I didn't actually check. I think it's a digger that they use in quarries to lift huge amounts of earth and put them in the back of trailers. Actually, that's something this game doesn't have, thinking about it. It doesn't have the huge trailer. You know what would be cool? Is if they allowed you to take a huge empty trailer to a quarry, then you had to wait there while they filled it up, and then you take the earth to somewhere else. You know, it could be that it's a mine or something, and you have to take the raw stuff to be refined to the refinery. They don't have that concept in the game. Right, where is it? Here we go. Take the job. I believe that's it on the... No, it's over there. That was the other one, wasn't it? This is the one. Look at this. Yeah, it's a... Is that a bucket on the front? No, or is it a bulldozer? It's a cat. I'll check it in a sec. Let's go through reversing fun first. Now to reverse into it. Let it clip on the model. There we go. Got it. There's a technique to that. A technique to getting around broken physics. Okay, let's pull up over here and have a look at this, because I reckon this looks quite cool. Whoa. Yeah, that's basically an earth pusher, isn't it? Got tracks on that. A D10T. That is massive. That looks quite good. This truck pulling that looks pretty cool, I have to admit. To see where we're going. Come on, sat-nav. Thank you. So it's 1 in the afternoon. We're estimated to be there on Sunday 6:30, so it should be a full daylight drive. So while we're waiting, let's have another look while we're at the lights. Yeah, I like this actually. I actually fallen in love with this truck actually, bizarrely enough. There's just something about it. It's just got so much character. There's just nothing to dislike about this truck. Well, having said that, maybe the interior, I wouldn't have it quite so brightly coloured. But that's just personal taste. In terms of the character of the truck, it's all there. It's there in spades. You know, if you think about the normal sort of Renaults and MAN trucks, and you know, they're all a little bit bland compared to something like this. With that engine, this thing is awesome. So you guys are probably wondering where I'm going to go next in terms of the videos. We've just done a Kenworth W900. Now we're on the Kenworth K100. So we've done some interesting Kenworths. There is a Peterbilt I could try. Now there's two kinds of Peterbilt truck that I could try. There's the traditional one, the kind of 30-year-old version, I think, or there's the more modern one. I actually prefer the styling of the old truck compared to the new one. That sounds ridiculous, but the new one, the new style, I don't know if you've seen the newish kind of Peterbilt, but it's so rounded, and I don't know, there's just something almost characterless about it. It seems to have lost something. It's become modern, but at the same time it's lost its soul. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but it's making me wonder which to try. But I think what I might do is go for the modern one and show you what I mean, and see how it drives. Maybe it drives really well, maybe the old one doesn't drive so well, I don't know. But just on external appearances, what is that guy doing? Just based on external appearances, I prefer the older truck than the new one. I really would like you to move over, but no fucks given, pal. You are in a BMW after all. That's your rite of passage. But I think when I've done the modern Peterbilt, then I may do the old Peterbilt. And what I'd like to do then is probably move on to some of the more the normal trucks in the game, but different manufacturers. Obviously, you know, you guys know I love the Scania, but I think I need to try out some other trucks. And I think I would probably start with my second favourite truck, which would be a Volvo. And obviously the Volvos do powerful engines, which is obviously an attraction to a lot of people. So we'll try the Volvo, and then we'll move on to something else, I think. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Too fast. Especially considering the load I've got. Looks cool in the mirror, doesn't it? I don't think that even clipped on the bridge. I think that actually fit under the bridge properly. But I think we're about to go off down some B roads. I'm guessing we're going to a quarry. That would make sense. I think the game's got sort of categories of cargo, and it maps the categories to the delivery points. So it says, you know, this kind of cargo should go to this kind of delivery point. Which makes sense. That's how it should be done. So this being an industrial digger stroke excavator stroke, you know, well, just heavy industrial part. They're saying that needs to go to a quarry. I'm guessing we're going to a quarry. I'd be surprised if we ended up at a shopping centre. Although it has been known. When I took those aluminium, well, they weren't aluminium, they were massive metal tubes, and it literally told me to take them to Lidl, like this supermarket. Something went wrong here. I think it was the mod, whoever created the mod. He created these aluminium tubes, and he obviously told the game that the category of them was effectively food, you know, or something like that, something that you would normally expect to go to a supermarket. So it's not the developer's fault, it's the mod author's fault, to be honest. There got some sports cars. There's a balloon up there with a nice bridge. That looks pretty cool. Still 128 miles out, to be honest. I thought we were nearer. Don't know why. I think it's because we're on B roads. I kind of figured that we'd on the final stages of the journey, but we're not. I reckon this engine can pull us past here. Yep, that was right. This thing pulls like a beast. I don't know how much weight this thing is, but I'm having no problems. Hilarious. Well, the problem with getting a powerful engine like this is it does make you somewhat impatient. What is that guy doing? He's going for it. Interesting, he made it as well. See, this doesn't make sense. Here I am in a truck with an enormous trailer overtaking a guy with no trailer whatsoever. Why is he going so slowly? Oh, let's talk about... That's what something I was going to talk about. The upcoming patch. The patch isn't ready yet. I think it's going to be 1.4. We're on 1.3.1 at the time of making this video. They are working on a patch, and they're currently 1.3.51, I think. So they're almost, you know, it seems to me like they're heading towards 1.4. So my guess at this stage is that when it comes out, it'll be called 1.4, but I could be wrong. However, that patch has some interesting stuff in it. So behind the scenes, they've been doing a lot of work on the graphics, simplifying the models down, making them so that they can load more efficiently without losing any kind of graphical quality, just making the storage of the model a lot more efficient. But one of the things they've also done, and this is interesting, and this is going to break a lot of stuff, they've changed the way maps are stored, created and loaded. So effectively they've taken the map of Europe and made it into segments almost. Now there's a couple of reasons that they've done that. One of the primary drivers behind it though is so that they can have people in their own team, I think, work on different segments of the map. So they could have a team working on, well, let's say France was one segment. They could have a team working on extending France, building more roads, more towns, changing stuff in the map, fixing things, whilst another team is perhaps working on you know, Germany, although Germany's so big it's probably split up into more than one segment. But what it does allow, and this is where it gets interesting, it does allow them to make, for example, a new segment for Eastern Europe, so they could go more east, or they could bring out a segment for Scandinavia, or mod authors could do the same thing. So mod authors could modify, they could release a mod that just changed France, just modified some stuff in France, or extended some stuff in France. And that allows you to kind of pull in mods of specific parts of the map, rather than here's a map pack that changes, you know, here's a mod that changes the whole of the map, but actually doesn't change the whole of the map, it just changes some of it. That then clashes with another mod author. Whereas this way, you could have two mod authors write two mod packs that were independent of each other. The game would know that they're modifying different parts of the map. It also makes it more efficient for the game to load in, because it knows that I'm currently travelling along a certain part. I'm about to break into a new segment, so it can start loading that segment before I get there. But all the other stuff it doesn't have to keep in memory. Makes it more efficient. So there are very good reasons to do it. However, I'm pretty certain that this release is coming out is going to break everybody's maps. All the mods that you've got extending the maps, and there are some nice mods out there. Whether we'll be able to just unload them just before the patch and everything will work fine, or whether it's going to refuse to load your save game, don't know. Honestly, don't know. But just be aware of it. When the patch comes in, the map mods will not work, I don't think, until they've been loaded back into the editor and saved in the new format. That's my current understanding. Now, the other thing is, they did talk about, they have been talking a while now about a DLC which has something like 18 new cities in it. And a few months ago they were pricing that up, but that seems to have gone very quiet. So my question is the reason for that? That's £4 from Marianne. That's nice. Is the reason for that because they've not released the map DLC because they need this kind of new feature in the game? So in other words, when they release the new 1.4 patch, can they then release that DLC? Is that the reason for the hold up? It would make some sense if that was the reason. I don't know how far we are away from being 1.4 patch released, but hopefully soon, because this game needs some new stuff. And they know that. They have blogged about it. They do realise that it has been a while since they've pushed out content. They've reassured us that they are working on the game. They're also working on other driving projects, so they are spinning plates a little bit. But they need to get this patch out soon, I would think. I mean, we're kind of middle of May now. I would like to see that patch within a month, at the most before the end of June. And I would like to see the DLC released at the same time. Whether they're going to do it, whether it's practical, I don't know, but that's just what I would personally want. Being reasonable. If I was being unreasonable, I want the patch tomorrow. But I'm not going to get it, am I? So being reasonable, based on the fact they've blogged about this stuff and said it's not far off, I'd like to think a month. And I am looking forward to some more places to go to, and I think they're going to bring out that new truck, aren't they? The new Volvo, what's it called? They've got the Iveco Stralis Truck of the Year. That's a new truck that's coming out, I think. I think they've got a new Volvo in the mix. So maybe that'll come out in the patch, or maybe that'll be the new DLC. I don't know which way they're gonna mix it. But yeah, it's exciting. Other news. Somebody's working on a multiplayer for this thing. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because SCS have said that it's not possible to do a multiplayer. Whether there's any truth in that, I don't know. That's just officially that's what they've said, but behind the scenes they might be working on a multiplayer, who knows. But some guy is working on a mod that brings multiplayer into this game. How the heck this is going to work, I don't know. But I think I read that on the 1st of June it goes into... is it alpha or beta? Might be beta, I think. And I'm going to keep my eye on it, because one half of me is skeptical. I was in two minds about whether to mention this to you guys or not, because let's face it, we all want multiplayer in this game, but at the same time I wouldn't like to be promised by anybody that they're working on a version of it and then it never get delivered. That would really annoy me. So I'm trying not to get too excited about that. I hope they are working on a multiplayer, and I hope it's possible. And if it does get released, then I'm going to try it, and I'll help out, and I'll give feedback about the bugs and the issues. But one half of me right now is thinking that it ain't going to happen. And until somebody actually releases the damn thing, that's the kind of view I'm taking. So I'm cautiously optimistic, and I think you should be too. We're now 10 miles away from delivery point. So this is good. It's been a fairly smooth drive. No major upsets. Nothing too difficult. This truck has been apart from the reversing bug, apart from that, this truck has been wonderful to drive. I've really enjoyed it. If any of you guys, having watched this video, go and try this thing out and you don't have the reversing bug, let me know. And if you do have it and you find out what's conflicting, please also let me know. I'll share it with everybody else. I'll post it on my Facebook page. Again, guys, if you're watching and you're not, you haven't been to my Facebook page, I suggest you pop over there and click like and follow me on Twitter, because any information that I get about these games that I play, that's where I post it. I post it on Facebook and it comes out on Twitter as well. So I suggest you go and follow one or the other. But certainly Facebook is quite a good place to interact on my page. I do see all the messages. It tells me about unread messages. I can reply directly. It's kind of a nice way of interacting, Facebook. It's pretty good at that. Certainly for me anyway. The problem with sending me messages on bloody YouTube and stuff is you just get mixed up with all kinds of crap and you end up missing a lot of stuff. Facebook gives me the tools to do it. So if you've not been to facebook.com/DaSquirrelsNuts, then go over there and click like and leave a message. But anyway, if any of you guys do discover a fix to this reversing problem, do let me know and I'll share it on Facebook. And with that note, I'm wondering how I'm going to park this thing again. Look up there, I didn't notice that before. Can you see up there all those see those things? I wish you could drive those. Now I don't know if I can come round the back of this thing. Let's just go third person a second. I don't think I can. It's a shame. I think I have to cop out again and just go for the instant delivery, which is not something I like to do. I like to reverse it into place, but what can I do? I've got a problem here. There's just not enough room. I could try turning, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to do this without reversing. We'll give it a bash just before we give up. I'm trying to get it so that I don't have to reverse at all. Looks like I can make the turn, but whether I can get it into position or not, I don't know. No, I can't. I can't do it. It's just too sharp. Basically, I can make the turn, but now I have to reverse. So I've got the lineup ready, but as soon as I start reversing, I'll have a problem. So I'm going to have to deliver it. That's a shame. Stuttgart to Strasbourg, 200 miles more or less, 14,000, and it was a fun and simple drive. That's quite cool. Where are we at now? We've pulled a bit of money back. Started off on 250, spent the best part of, what was it, 90 or 100 on this truck, and I'm now back to 200. Love this truck. Absolutely love it. It looks good. Looks so good, let's face it. This is a beautiful beast. Bit annoyed about the reversing problem we've got. But I can't fault this truck. Let's turn my engine off. It's wonderful. Suggest you give it a try, actually. In black, I assume. I mean, I can't think of any other colour that's going to look better than this. But I'm afraid, having dropped off that giant bulldozer at the quarry, we've run out of time. If you want to try this, don't forget I've got a reversing bug at the moment, so if you do find out a solution, let me know. On the next video, I shall probably go and try the Peterbilt Modern out and see how we get on with that. But until then, it has been a pleasure. Take care, guys. And happy trucking.